I don't wanna waste your time. I wanna take you to a place of mine and maybe talk about the universe. Or maybe we can watch some television. I'm hella with it. Just let me know I'm available. I know you got a schedule, probably on the grind. I just think that you incredible, baby. You know you fine. West Coast. I don't wanna waste your time. I wanna take you to a place of mine and roll another, bring some music. We can drink some wine, and when we wake up in the morning, we can press rewind and talk about it if you want to. Baby, it's all on you.
Hey guys, welcome back to Black is the New Green, a show dedicated to shining the spotlight on Black entrepreneurs and the amazing achievements of our community. I'm Michelle Taylor Willis, your host for today, well, for every day, I think, and hopefully. And I'm so excited that you're here with us today. Black is the New Green is an original show developed for Radivision.com. It's where you can check out an entire universe of programming built just for entrepreneurs in the startup and entrepreneurial worlds. So whether you're starting your own business, just even thinking about it, it's a support system, right? This is the network for startups and visionaries where you can find inspiring stories, profiles of founders who've made it big, but also founders just like you who want to build incredible companies and write the script for our business future. So we talk about every industry here because we're about entrepreneurialism and startup, no matter what the industry. And so I'm really excited today to talk about an industry that we don't often talk about, especially in the startup world or in the entrepreneurial world, and that is music. So today we have international recording artist and star. She's amazing. Zeeteah Massiah, who is amazing. You can tell by her big, bright smile that she just exudes positivity and optimism and energy everywhere she goes. And so welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. I can't wait to begin this conversation. I know we don't have a lot of time, so we're going to dive right in. But first of all, I just want to say, congratulations. I'm like tired when I look at your website and I look at all the things you've done and all the notes, and I'm like, you have accomplished so much. Like, if you had to go back in time and say, this is where I knew I would be, would you be able to say, this is where I knew I would be?
Yeah, I would. Absolutely. As a 5-year-old, this is what I dreamt. Well, I didn't dream. My mother said when I was 5 years old, I said I'm going to be a singer, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm living my dream, and I'm so happy about that.
So talk to me a little bit about that, because what I really want to dive into here is the entrepreneurialism piece of this music industry that so often we miss, that you got early, and you've really paved the way. I don't know if you realize it or not, but you're kind of like a trailblazer in the way that you have done music, because you've been doing this for years. And in America, we're just now getting this concept of the independent artist and the entrepreneurial artist. And this has been your life forever. So talk to me about how, when you got into music, were you like singing like Beyonce was in the talent shows when you were 5, or?
No, not quite. No. So getting into music, I guess when I was 8 years old, I realized I had a good voice because the teachers would make a bit of a fuss about it and get me to sing in class. And eventually I went on to sing as a soloist in church. And a little way after that, I did my first release when I was 17, a reggae record. It was a reggae song, actually, by the Jackson 5. So I did a reggae version of We Got a Good Thing Going, but when I was 17.
Wow.
And went on to do a couple more tracks with this company. And then at 21, I went to Poland as a lead singer of a band called Lady Love. We were supporting Mungo Jerry, of all people, in Poland. And that was fun. So I just want to say that it feels I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a plan at all. It just felt like the universe was just taking me along, and I was just open to all possibilities. And fortunate for me, I fell into a really lovely place. And, I would never have thought of myself as an entrepreneur, but until the question came about. And because my understanding of entrepreneurs is that they have plans, and they have specific strategies for their career, whereas I didn't. And so making a living as a singer is very different from being an architect or a nurse or a secretary. They have a job to go to. I have to create my job. And I always, the opportunities, when they came my way. So I guess when I think about it like that, I am a kind of entrepreneur of sorts, having been in the business for over 47 years, which is kind of mad when I think about
crazy. When you say that, it's crazy. I'm looking at your skin and but don't get me started down that road. You look amazing.
Thank you.
So yeah, let's talk about, first of all, let me just tell you, I owned a consulting company for years, and I did entrepreneurial coaching. I set up businesses. I built business models for entrepreneurs. And let me tell you something, 90% of entrepreneurs have no plan at all. No business plan, no nothing. Okay. This was the battle I used to fight a lot with my entrepreneurial clients, because I was like, where's your business plan? Where's your vision? Where's your mission? And there's none of that. So you're absolutely an entrepreneur if you didn't have that either. You followed the model. You followed the model. But you said a really key point here, and I wrote it down. You had to create your job. You don't have a job to go to. You created your job. And I talk about this a lot, right? Finding your purpose, why you were placed on this earth, and figuring out a way to monetize it, and surrounding yourself with people that can help you do that. But you create this revenue stream, right? When you create your own revenue stream, that's entrepreneurialism. And that's what you did. So you were never with a label per se, right?
Yes, I actually was.
Okay.
Well, the reggae company that I was with when I was 17, I was with them for a few years, and then I joined Virgin Records.
Okay, so you were with Virgin. Okay.
Yeah, I was with Virgin Records. And that was it. I wasn't with any other record company, but I did do a lot of recordings, mostly dance records, actually. But yeah, I've been free from record company ownership, if you like, for a long time. And I've been doing stuff with my husband. So, we've been our own company.
So talk to people who are listening about how did Virgin find you? And then what made you say, I don't want to be with the mothership anymore?
So, I did a track called Slide on the Rhythm, and that was with Circa Records, who were part of Virgin, if I'm right, because I get muddled up. And there was a couple of DJs, because in the dance world, DJs were king back then, because they'd make the music, but they needed a singer to put the top line, to add the top line. And I can't remember who told me about the guys, but I joined them and did this track, and it actually went to #1 on the Billboard dance charts in America. So
#1 in 1993, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's how I got with Virgin. And then, I don't know, just thinking how stuff went off after that. I think because of that, the artists that I worked with probably liked, or possibly liked, what they heard and thought, okay, we want to go with her. So I did a lot of backing vocal work with Tom Jones, and I was on the Michael Jackson tour with Kim Wilde. So I was actually with Kim. I was one of her backing singers. And it went on from there, that journey of being a backing vocalist for these wonderful artists. And I made quite a good living out of that. But I always remember thinking, okay, I'm a backing singer right now, but I want to be there. I
You want
remember
to be
that.
front and
Yeah.
center.
So it
Yeah.
was like a journey. It was a journey for me to see how things are, and just I knew that eventually I was going to be exactly where Tom was, or Michael, in my own right, because it's a learning curve. What I was doing as a backing vocalist and a lot of session work was just a learning curve for me when I did my live stuff for myself. I hope that made sense.
It absolutely does, yeah, and I can see you kind of working your way through it too, because you're like, "Wait a minute, no, this is kinda," yeah. But I love what you said about it was kinda like you played your part, right? So many times,
Yes.
entrepreneurs, and myself included, I've done this, it's like, we don't want the corporate experience. We don't wanna work for somebody. We don't we wanna just jump out there and get it on our own. But there's so much value in learning from the people who've done it before, right? And I
Absolutely.
used to tell, and I still tell entrepreneurs this all the time, like, if you can work in corporate America for 5, 7 years, why wouldn't you go and learn how to run a business, right? You got to collaborate. Tom Jones, Michael Jackson. I mean, these are like two of the biggest names in music ever. And you sang background vocals for them, right? You got to see them on tour. You got to see how the tour worked, how it operated. You worked with Virgin, one of the largest labels out there. You got to see how it worked, being a
Mhm.
part of it
Mhm.
before you said, I'm going to jump out. And again, it probably wasn't your plan, but it was part of the journey. And I love the fact that you can you can acknowledge that. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. I probably did know where I was going, and I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I just thought, I'll get there.
Well, yeah, because you've been dreaming about it. You knew that you were supposed to be out front.
Yeah.
So when you decided to break from Virgin, did you have a plan to do that for how you were going to do it and be successful and continue to make the money independently? Or did you just step out on faith?
I just stepped out, actually. Yeah, I didn't plan it at all. But that was the time when it was probably so. I did quite a lot of touring with a Japanese artist called Ikichi Yazawa. And I did a lot of, I went back to, I went to Japan like for 3 months on a regular basis, like up to 10 years
Mm.
with him. So that took place of, the record stuff, which was fantastic. I mean, I love being on stage. I love, live work, and being with him and his fans was just amazing. The same way with Johnny Hallyday, the French god who sadly died 5 years ago. But with both of them, I actually got to do a duet they asked me to duet with them. So I mean, God, me, I'm so thrilled about that. So they obviously liked something about me, that they wanted me to sing with them in front of, 50,000 people or whatever. So
Right.
it was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Thank you very much. It's yeah, thinking about it now, it just makes me very, very excited that I've done that. I've been given that opportunity, if you like. And maybe
Absolutely.
they saw something, maybe they saw in me that I want to share that stage with them. Who knows?
Well, it's not hard to see. I mean, you radiate. So I imagine you're radiating now and imagine that you radiated back
Oh,
then.
honey, my fan.
But I mean, people can pick up on that, right? I mean, when we can see greatness in people sometimes before they can see it in themselves, right? They know that it's there, but they don't know how to pull it out. And
Yes.
so I think God has a way of surrounding us with the people that we need to be able to pull this out, right? God, the universe, whatever people might want to
Yes.
call it. And so you have a way of being around the people that you need to be around that are sometimes smarter than you, that can pull this out and take you to another level of greatness that we might not know how to get there by ourselves, right?
Right. I have to say that my husband, Paul, I there's no way I would be here without him. We hooked up in 2010 and started making music together. And honestly, it's just been the best time of my life. I actually asked the universe for this man. I said, I want a
Mhm.
Capricorn man. I want him to be in music. I want him fun and all these things. And I actually knew Paul before. We knew each other before we met. And I was living in Germany at the time. And when I came back for love, because he was right there. And, he writes my songs, he produces, he does my videos. He is everything to me. Wow. I could not do it without him. I love working with him. We're a great team.
Paul Kaplan, right?
Paul Kaplan. So I have to big up.
Shout out to Paul Kaplan. So let me, I'm glad you mentioned this, and let's talk about the elephant in the room for a little bit. You obviously are a beautiful Black woman. There's no mistake in that, right? What challenges did you encounter, one, if any, as a Black woman in this space, and then in music, and then a Black woman as an entrepreneur, as an independent artist, making your way?
I didn't really come up against much stuff, because I don't let things like that stop me from getting where I want to get to go. I mean, yes, being Black, that's enough for me to know that that's going to be a problem for some people. I don't care about that.
Right.
I walk around like I own the place, because I do. I'm as good as anybody else, and we haven't really had any problems there at all. So
I love that. And you know what? When I don't ask everyone that question, but whenever I ask the question, people sometimes might be freaking. They'll say, yeah, it's hard, but the people who are winning, honestly, it's not a challenge. I mean, you're going to get doors shut in your face regardless sometimes,
absolutely.
Right? And I'm not saying that it's not harder we know, especially on the startup side. I mean, we've got evidence and data to prove that there are roadblocks a lot of times, but they don't have to be barriers to success and barriers to significance. And so when I say that, I say a lot of people in your position say, yeah, and here I am. You know what I mean? Yeah, I pushed through it. Yeah, it's fine. So what do you think separates the people like you who are like, yeah, I didn't really have any challenges.
Well,
who have, who don't?
Sorry to interrupt you. I think you have to be a certain type of person, I guess, to get along with this, because sometimes it is challenging and you might feel a little down. But if you have a positive attitude anyway in life, you're going to know you're going to get hurdles, but you just jump over them. Really, it's tough sometimes, but it depends how tough you want it to be. If you believe it's just one of those things, just get over it and move on. Then
it's mindset. It's mindset, like everything else.
I do believe that.
And you can see even too, like your confidence, it comes out in your music. And we have one of your videos that I want to show, but it comes out in your music. It comes out in even when you talk, some people have kind of a fake kind of confidence where like they're saying these things, but they don't really, you know what I mean? You're like,
I do.
Really, you really think you're the best. But you have this confident, like you said it, like, yeah, it's my room. I'm supposed to be here. Like, I'm just as good or better than any of you. Look at you. You've got you're like, yeah.
I'm just in a really happy place. I'm in a really good place. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, which is very sad, but you know what? You've got to grasp the happy stuff as well. You really have to.
That's exactly right. You do. You always have to. So in your music, like I said, I mean, reggae, because you're Barbadian born, right?
That's right. I was a Bajan girl, yes.
So you have this Caribbean piece to you, jazz, reggae, house music. I mean, you have this, you live in Germany, you've traveled all over the world. So you have all of these experiences, and then you take this positive mindset, you create a business, you build it, you partner up with the love and friend and partner of your life. And you guys have just soared. Is that a word? Soared. I'm like making up my own word.
You can make it up.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it's a Michelleism. And you've built a business on your passion and your purpose. and you've developed a plan along the way, which I love. So speaking of your music, we've got a 60-second clip here of one of your music videos. I want to give people a sense of who you are who might not have heard of you. So can we roll that video?
I got it from my aunt Cece. She caught it on GB News. You gotta be quick to catch those doomsday blues. They told me there's COVID in the 5G. They told me the earth is flat. I wonder if Google's got a map for that. No need to fear now. What's going on here now? It's all very clear now. We've all gone crazy. What a ting, do shit crazy. What a ting, everybody crazy. What a ting, do what a crazy, crazy ting.
But every time I hear this song, I've listened to it a few times now, right? Since you sent it over, and it embodies literally everything you're saying.
Yep.
It's like there's this, yes, I'm Black. Yes, I'm a Black woman. Yes, it's COVID. Yes, it's this. They're saying this. They got this. There's conspiracy here. Who cares?
Absolutely. I mean, you know
who cares? What a ting. And I love what a ting.
What a ting.
Like, you keep that Caribbean feel to you. So I love it because all of your music, when I go and I listen, even to stuff way back with your 1993 Billboard hit in America, all of your music is just about this uplift and it's fun. And when, you feel like you can do anything when you finish listening to your music. And I'm going to ask you one last question. I'm going to pivot because I know we got a few questions coming in here too. But in America, we're just grasping this concept of the independent artists, especially in the Black community. Black artists traditionally, they get with the label and then, they're slaves to the label, and sometimes they make money and sometimes they come out broke. You know what I mean? There's several unsung stories about this. And so, like I said, I think what's so interesting is that you caught on early to this independent, no label, I'll figure it out and do it on my own and own my music, own my masters, own everything, create everything, keep it under my umbrella and keep pushing. So kudos to you. And that's going to take me into my first question from our audience is, what is the advice that you have to new artists coming through, whether they follow this model or not?
I believe they need to be absolutely true to themselves and don't let anybody sway them one way or the other. If they feel it in their gut, what they need to do, they need to go forward and do it and surround themselves with people that believe in them.
It's like I said, it's crazy. This is our 6th show. And I have another show too, where I interview people like you, and everybody says the same thing, surround yourself, know your gut, be true to yourself, surround yourself with the right people, and it can happen. So that's the big thing. Surround yourself with the right people. I love it. And stay true to yourself. You don't have to sell yourself.
Absolutely.
Because that's what people think. In order to get this, I got to do this, right?
Yeah, that's not the way.
Okay, here's our next question from a Radivision viewer. What is the best lyric you have ever written?
Oh my goodness. Well, Paul writes my songs actually. Best lyric. Oh my gosh, that's a real difficult one. That is a real tough one. Oh, okay.
Well, what's your favorite lyric in one of your songs? How about that?
So Hearing You is a song that Paul wrote for me on my second album called Maybe Tomorrow. Hearing You. And it's really simple, but hearing you.
Hearing
you.
H-E-R-I-N-G.
Hearing H-E-R-E in you. Hearing you.
Oh, hearing you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you've got to listen to the song to understand why I said that this is my favorite lyric. I know but this is off the top of my head. I'm sure there's so much more out there, but I can't think of any that is the one that I feel.
And so talk to me about that. Why do you, for those who haven't, I'm sure everybody needs to go listen to Hearing You because this is her favorite, so we've figured that out. But why is it? And then what does that mean to you? Because obviously music is more than just a business for you. This is your heart. This is your soul. This is your destiny, right?
Yes, it is. Well, music, as I said, as a 5-year-old, it was a dream to me, and to feel that I'm doing it still, and it's the emotions. It's getting on stage with an audience that are with you. Everybody is the same, whether it doesn't matter what the race, the religion, the color. Everyone is one, and music is the only thing that can do that, as far as I'm concerned, to unite people. And I think we need more of that happening. Music is a healer. That's what I feel. Music is a healer, and we need to connect each other through it.
Music is a healer. And do you think, since music is a healer, that it can truly help, especially in the entrepreneurial, independent artist, business building space? What place do you think that healing has, that music healing property has, just in that space? Because like I said, people have so many roadblocks, right? They feel so many roadblocks, and sometimes they just don't know where to turn, to whom to turn, how to turn. How does music heal in that space?
That's a really good question. I think, music just plays a role in every walk of life, as far as I'm concerned. And that's a difficult one.
Yes, I stumped her. No, I'm just joking.
You did, you really did. If you're feeling down, you put some music on to lift you up. Or even if you're even if you're feeling good, you still put music on to lift you up.
Right.
I just, for me, music is like in every little pore of my body. So it's difficult for me to say, because it's just it's life for me. Music is life.
I get it. No, and I think too, I think if we just use it, I think if we can, what you're trying to say is, if you use music for the properties that it has, whether you are an entrepreneur or independent, whether you're somebody listening to it in the shower, it really does have the power to make us better. We just have to tap into it and use it as such.
Absolutely. I mean, sick people in hospital or wherever they are, people that have got dementia, or you put on a piece of music that they probably haven't heard for years, and they light up. I mean, there is something about music that makes people alive,
Right. Absolutely. Well, I think in the startup space, we should write some more songs about, figuring out how to get more independent artists, and maybe you can come up with some lyrics for that.
I could try.
Or maybe Paul.
Paul, he'd be good.
Now. Let's get some lyrics around creating independent artists and more independent labels.
I provide the inspiration, and Paul writes the songs. That's how we work.
There you go. All right, so we're going to wrap up. I want you to tell us, what do we see in 2022, 2023, and beyond? And then how do people find you and follow you on socials and buy your music and all of that stuff?
Okay, so in 2022, you're going to see a fabulous new reggae album. In fact, What a Ting, what you just heard, is the first release of the album. Okay. And we'll be releasing tracks every 6 to 8 weeks. What else? Hopefully I can come over there and do some gigs. That would be fabulous. And more videos, new videos, and probably more new music, I imagine. And so to find me, so Zeeteah, ZEETEAH @me. What am I doing? No, that's wrong. Zeeteah, Zeeteah.com. That's right. Sorry, giving my email address. I don't want to do that, do I? No. ZEETEAH.com. And I'm on Instagram, the same name, Zeeteah Massiah, with an A, not an E. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can find, as long as you spell my name right, you can find me.
All right, guys, and maybe we can put that there in the lower third. Zeeteah, Zeeteah, Massiah.com.
That's right. Yes, or just Zeeteah.com.
Zeeteah.com. There you go. And guys, she is on everything at Zeeteah. I mean, just type it in and you can find her. But go and get her music. Is it streaming on Apple Music or?
Yes, it's streaming on all channels, Spotify mostly. So go to Spotify, people. Go to Spotify.
There you go. All right. That's what we want. We need you. We need people supporting you. So let's do that. And listen, thank you so much. I can't wait to continue this conversation with you offline because I think we have a lot of work to do.
Oh, gosh.
Yes, a lot of work to do. And maybe we'll let Paul in too. I don't know.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Listen, guys, this has been amazing today. I love learning about these journeys. And we take one every week. Again, I'm Michelle Taylor Willis, and a huge thank you to everyone who's listening or watching or whatever. And guys, remember, this is going to be on podcast too. So there's no excuse for you not to ever be inspired. It's on video on demand on radivision.com. It's on our YouTube channel. There's no reason for you not to know exactly what Radivision is, what Black is the New Green is, and how you can be an amazing entrepreneur. Because that's what we do here at Black is the New Green. We inspire you to be a community that thrives and builds amazing stories where we share them, stories just like yours, right? We feed off this energy of the unsung heroes who put it all out there and take risks to get a shot, just to get a shot at building a business and a company that explodes and gets huge. Again, I'm Michelle Taylor Willis, and I am at Michelle Taylor Willis on just about everything. And I'm here on radivision.com every Wednesday at 12:30. I was going to say the wrong time, like you said the wrong email. Radivision.com every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Black is the New Green, guys. Check it out. Until next time.
Thank you.
I don't wanna waste your time. I wanna take you to a place of mine and maybe talk about the universe. Or maybe we can watch some television. I'm hella with it. Just let me know I'm available. I know you got a schedule, probably on the grind. I just think that you incredible, baby. You know you fine. West Coast. I don't wanna waste your time. I wanna take you to a place of mine and roll another, bring some music. We can drink some wine, and when we wake up in the morning, we can press rewind and talk about it if you want to. Baby, it's all on you.